After announcing Michigan State University will be learning virtually this fall, we are hearing from the school's leader. MSU President Samuel Stanley admitted today that seeing other big universities struggle to contain the virus led him to make the move. He said MSU had a plan in place and he was confident in it, but campus outbreaks around the country forced them to pivot.
We took a look at their protocols. We actually communicated with some of those schools to understand what they were doing. And we came to the conclusion that while we thought our protocols were sound, that many of them were not particularly different than the strategies that were employed by those other institutions. So we made the decision that it was probably safest for our students, our faculty and staff, that we take the actions that we announced yesterday.
Here in West Michigan, some universities are already beginning to welcome students back for in-person learning. Class already in session at Hope College. Students at Cornerstone move in today. News 8's Whitney Burney joins us with how local universities are hoping to stay open. Whitney.
Well, Brian, there haven't been any cases here at Cornerstone University just yet, but the administration says at some point there likely will be. It's the reason why universities like Cornerstone and all throughout West Michigan say they've put in as many safeguards as they could before students and teachers are back together. Goodbyes this year come with a little more anxiety.
I'm worried, as I should be as a parent, but I'm always worried, but a little more worried than normal.
This is Cornerstone University, and other schools welcome back thousands of students amid the coronavirus pandemic.
For the entire summer, we've had a COVID-19 task force.
Cornerstone cut all class sizes by 50%, and they're requiring masks in all common spaces. They say while they're doing their best to prevent any outbreaks, some cases are likely.
It'd be unrealistic to think that there will not be cases, that there will not be students that have symptoms, that there will be faculty that will have symptoms and even test positive. That'll be a part of this journey. And so really in our preparation, we've anticipated that.
It's a reality already facing Hope College in Holland. After sending out pre-arrival testing to nearly 4,000 students, the school identified 38 positive cases.
Our goal was to identify them early on so that when we started on Monday, we would have a classroom baseline of 0. So really our plan A was to plan and prepare for positive cases, knowing that that would be the case.
Hope says a handful of students who tested positive are isolating on campus, the rest at home. They say moving forward, they'll require masks in all common spaces, remind students to social distance, and test 1% of their population every day at random.
We've identified different residential zones on campus, and they will be selected randomly, and then we can keep our finger on the pulse of those positive cases.
Both schools says there's no specific number of cases that would force them to move to online-only learning, but they're watching the cases closely.
Well, we recognize it's a very unique situation, and so our expectation is that we would journey this together, that we would support one another through it.
Now, both Grand Valley State University and Western Michigan are also planning to resume in-person classes in the coming weeks. They have similar safeguards in place to what's here at Cornerstone University. You can take a closer look at those plans at woodtv.com. All of these universities do tell us that they have plans in place in case there is a severe outbreak to pivot to online-only learning. Live here from Cornerstone, Whitney Burney, News 8.